Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. Today is a Q&A video on health, fitness, weight loss, everything, that whole massive subject. It's such a large subject to talk about, and I asked you guys to send me a bunch of questions on Snapchat, so I'm going to be answering all of those today. I did sort of like a part one where I did my weight loss video on how I lost 30 pounds, and that was just kind of me talking about my journey, how I started, all the things that I've kind of learned along the way. So I remember me having a ton of questions when I first started, so I thought I wanted to do a Q&A video where I answer your questions and things that you guys might be confused about. Today I'm having such a dry morning. When I was applying my foundation, it did not want to go on. So if I look a little bit patchy, that is why. I just love winter in Canada. It's just beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer the first question. Okay, so first question is from Alicia. Hi Alicia. So your question is, how do you keep yourself motivated to eat healthy every day and not deprive yourself? This question is actually really good because one thing I really talk about so much in my last video is not depriving yourself, not putting too much pressure on yourself. So to me, I think that that's something that's very important when you're trying to lose weight in general. Depriving yourself is a very short-term solution to what you actually want in the long term. So if I say to myself, okay, well, I want to lose 30 pounds in 6 months, I'm going to be eating 600 calories a day, you're depriving yourself. What happens is you're going to lose the weight very quickly. When you have an unrealistic lifestyle and an unrealistic solution to your long-term goal, the problem with that is it doesn't last. And that's what I did in the beginning. I was depriving myself. I was constantly starving. If you are to the point where you are starving, that's telling me that your body is asking you for more. It's just not working for you. Understanding to not deprive yourself while you're trying to lose weight, I think is a very important lesson that I think everybody needs to kind of follow. Because when you deprive yourself and you get your goal so quickly, they're basically, literally, that's what they are. They're quick fixes. And I think that we need to keep reminding ourselves we are looking for a long-term lifestyle solution. We're not looking for a quick solution. That's not what we're looking for. Because in the past, when I have had quick solutions or these quick fixes that made me lose all these pounds, I wasn't happy. So that's what that was the result that I got from depriving myself. So what happened was I did that again. So the next time I dieted, I deprived myself again and I got the exact same result. So you have to think to yourself, okay, so depriving myself is not the solution. It didn't really help me. It didn't get me to where I wanted to be. So that's when we had to do a lot more research. You know what I mean? Me and Amy learned a lot about how it works, how the body works, how you really lose weight, the better way to lose weight, the more realistic way to lose weight. And then you realize that the new solution is long-term. It's going to take much longer, but you're not going to be depriving yourself. So to me, depriving equals short-term solutions, and you're going to go back all the way again. Long-term solutions, you don't deprive yourself, you create a realistic plan for yourself that works, and guess what? You're going to have a longer-term solution. And in the end, you're going to say to yourself, I want to keep going. Like, I'm where I'm at and I'm happy where I'm at, but I want to keep going. But the person who deprives themselves, they're going to be like, I feel so defeated. Like, oh my God, I just want to give up. You know, like I've ran on the treadmill like an hour every single day. I'm eating like 1,000 calories a day. I feel extremely exhausted. Do you think that person's going to make it in the long run? Or do you think the person that created a realistic solution for themselves is going to be there in the long run still standing? That's where I'm kind of at. The way that I stay motivated, again, I talked about this in my last one, but again, motivation is something, it's so hard because I truly don't really believe in motivation. I guess in a way, what motivated me in the beginning to start is definitely health. I guess I would say it was 50% my body, 50% health reasons. But I mentioned a lot of people in my family were getting extremely ill, and I watched a ton of documentaries on health, and what we put into our bodies is basically what we become. And I mean, how much more simple can you get than that? Literally what you are putting in, like if you put poison into your body, do you think your body is going to be like smiling and happy inside? It's not. But if you put something full of nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, all these things that your body loves to consume, if you put that into your body, don't you think your body's going to be happy and smile? I know it sounds crazy saying that, but think about it in that way. Your body inside smiles when you are feeding it the things that it really needs. It doesn't know how to consume all these other like extra processed things. It just doesn't understand. So what motivated me in the beginning was, do I want to be sick in the long run? Like, I'm 27 years old. Do I want to have health issues? Because I want to be able to travel the world. I want to be able to enjoy marriage. I want to be able to enjoy kids, my family. I don't want to be sick and in a hospital. The reason why I don't like to put so much weight on motivation is because I think that a lot of people want that thing that makes them jump off the couch and gets them to the gym. It's so much more empowering when it's you that gets yourself to the gym, when it's you that says to yourself, you know what, Steph, get up, go to the gym, it's good for you, like, just get there. And then when you're done, you're gonna feel amazing. I always tell that to myself. When you go and you do your workout, you're gonna feel amazing, okay? Just focus on that. And it does, it makes me feel amazing. I definitely don't feel good when I stay home 5 days in a row not going to the gym. I feel good when I go there, I work out, and I just feel good about myself. I feel accomplished. I feel like I have created a goal for myself. You can't wait for this motivation thing. You can't make it a thing and say, okay, well, that thing hasn't pushed me, so I'm not gonna get up. That's the only thing I don't like about motivation. So it's fine to have that thing to push you to go, but just don't put so much pressure on yourself to wait for this motivation. If you're waiting for something and you're just not moving, it just means that you're just not ready. It's just not for you. It's not your time right now. Maybe you need to do a bit more research, and maybe you need to look within yourself and find, you know, why is it that I want to even lose weight? You know what I mean? Because I think that you need to ask yourself and really have a true understanding of why you want to start losing weight instead of just waiting for that thing that's going to push you. Because again, we're talking about the long run. We're not talking about a short fix. So next question is, I never know whether to buy clothes before or after I lose weight. I have the let me buy this now and I'll lose weight to fit into it mentally too. She says, I'm a hot mess. Please help. What do you do? So this question is very, very good. It's something that I had to think about when I was losing weight for sure. I only got rid of a ton of clothes when I lost the 30 pounds. So here's what I would suggest. I would keep, when you're first starting your weight, I would definitely keep a couple of clothes that you need to wear right now. The ones that fit you right now. Like, do not touch your wardrobe. When you are first starting, leave your wardrobe as is, and I would suggest not to buy. Do not buy clothes in, I would say, the first three months that you're starting to lose weight. Just don't buy clothes, not right now. Because the first 3 months is when you're starting, right? And then 4th and 5th month, you see all this progress and you think, oh my God, now I'm a size 4, I have to go get a bunch of size 4 stuff. But the problem with going to get a bunch of size 4 stuff is now you get a bunch of size 4 and then you end up being a size 2 and you have to buy an entire new wardrobe again. So what I did was I left my wardrobe in the very beginning. I did not do anything with it. I left it. A couple stuff I wanted to get rid of, but it wasn't because of the size, I just wanted to get rid of them. So I did that, and then after a couple months, I saw so much progress, and I'm like, oh, this shirt is so loose. I'm like, but you know what? Maybe I'll buy like one or two pairs of shirts, 1 or 2 pairs of pants, because of course nobody wants to wear loose clothing, like, let's just be real. So you could do that. You could buy a couple of pieces, but when I mean a couple, it doesn't mean like go buy 10 new shirts and 10 new pants and redo your wardrobe. I would suggest that if it's so bad, especially pants, I think shirts can last you a long time, because I mean, the trend is to do oversized everything these days, so it doesn't really matter if they're loose. But pants, of course, nobody wants pants or them, you know, falling down as you're walking during the day, so nobody wants that. So I did find that I had to buy like smaller tights. I was a medium before in tights, now I'm a small in tights. So when it became too much, like when I saw that I was losing too much weight and now my pants were just not fitting me at all, I would go and buy, you know, 2 pairs of small tights and stuff like that. But when it came to tops and bodysuits and dresses, I stayed away from it. I said to myself, you know what, wait until you have lost a ton of weight. Like 6 months after, I would say that's when you've lost a lot of pounds, right? So you're kind of like this new person. You're not the same person that you started before. I mean, 6 months has passed down. So then I would say to buy a couple more things. If you're still at a stage where you're like, no, I still need like 20 pounds to go. Again, only buy like a couple of items. Don't do too many. I personally, I know you mentioned, I did this before too. You're not the only one, where You bought the clothes where you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy these pants because that's my goal pant. That's fine. I had goal pants that I wanted to fit into. I bought a pair of jeans from Sirens that were a size 5, and I'm like, I am like, wow, I'm gonna get into these pants, like that's crazy. Because I got home and I tried them on and I'm like, they don't fit. So you know what? That's fine. It was a lesson to me. I put them in my closet and I said, I will fit into you though one day. I will. And guess what? I wore those pants in my holiday lookbook and I fit into those pants now. So it feels good. But imagine if you had like 5 of those pants. Not all of them are going to fit you the exact same. So I kind of regretted that I bought those pants a little bit too soon. But you know what? I said to myself, that's the one pair of pants it's going to be my goal. It's going to stay there in my closet until I fit into them. And I did. I accomplished that goal, so I felt good. But I did the same thing where I bought a ton of clothes that I was going to fit into at the end. But the thing is, you don't know where this journey is going to lead you. You don't know what you're going to look like at the end of this journey. So for example, if I bought a size 3 pair of jeans, guess what? After 7-8 months, I still wouldn't fit into a size 3 because my legs are still big. So you can't really do that. I would suggest to not buy the future weight loss clothes when you're starting. And I would just keep what you have right now that you fit into, and then as you lose weight, maybe buy like 1 or 2 pieces, but just know that those 1 or 2 pieces you're gonna have to throw out again at the end because they're still not gonna fit you. So overall, my advice is try not to buy a lot of clothes when you are losing weight. Try to just stay with what you're at right now. Try not to waste a lot of money because in the end you're just spending money for absolutely nothing, because weight loss it's something that's up and down, and I would suggest to buy clothing after you have lost all your weight. How do you deal with soreness? I have started CrossFit a few months back and I love it, but I noticed that when I go very hard after a workout, it takes me a few days to recuperate and go back to working out. I really hate this because I feel like I should be working out every day if possible. So my take on that is soreness is completely normal, and what I have learned is soreness doesn't necessarily mean, like a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm sore, you know, like I did such a good workout, this is awesome. Yes, soreness can be a sign of that, but soreness can also be a sign of you doing something wrong. So be very cautious with that. Make sure your forms are right, especially if you guys are doing weightlifting, because soreness can be different things. Just because your muscles are sore, you know, especially if your bones are sore, you need to be careful with that. I've had problems with my lower back. I think it's because in the past certain exercises I wasn't keeping it fully straight and I was kind of crouching over, or I was dipping it too much at the back, and it really caused a lot of back problems for me. But now I'm okay. I always make sure that when I'm sitting down I have like I actually bought a really firm pillow to sit behind me, because it's very important to keep your back straight and your posture nice and straight. It's not good to be stiff, like you shouldn't be like sitting like this, but allow your back to be nice and straight. So with the soreness and it's amazing that you're doing CrossFit. CrossFit is very, very like, it's amazing. It's like a wide exercise where it works a lot of parts of your body. You can actually consider it intense HIIT workout. So it's because it's so intense though, I would say to not be doing this. Like I know you mentioned you should be doing it every day. I don't think that there's any workout in the entire world that you should be doing every single day. I don't believe in that. I actually struggle with balance. I really do. In my life in general, I'm not a balanced person. I'm either this or I'm this. So, but when it has come to weight loss, it has forced me to become a balanced person. You need to have balance. So if your body is so sore and you're doing CrossFit, CrossFit is very, very overall body intense. It is so intense. So if you're doing that every single day and your body is sore, your body is telling you, you need to take it. If I did CrossFit, I'll just tell you what I would do. If I did CrossFit today, I would not be doing CrossFit tomorrow. I just would not. You need to give your body a rest. Again, long-term goal, short-term goal. The short-term goal makes you stay over here. The long-term goal makes you keep climbing up and up and up. That's the long-term goal. So if I were to do CrossFit every single day, right? By the end of the week, my body would be like, oh my God. Like I literally would feel dead. How would you have the energy to enjoy some part of your week? How would you have the energy to work? How would you have the energy to want to cook? Like it's so, I don't think a lot of people know CrossFit. Like it's very intense that I fully understand why you were experiencing soreness. I don't do CrossFit, but I know what it takes, and it is really, really intense. So I personally don't think that you need to be doing it every single day. The soreness is completely normal. You can look up a couple remedies when you have muscle soreness. But it is normal. But again, you might be so sore because you have been doing it like back to back to back to back, and which you shouldn't be doing. I really don't think you should be. That's just my advice and my opinion. When I don't work my arms, let's say for a couple days, and then I go back and really work them out, my muscles are sore the next day, but that's completely normal. But if like, especially when you're starting and you haven't done weightlifting, you will get some intense soreness. Do not be afraid about that. But it's when you keep doing the same exercises week after week and you're experiencing a weird soreness that's very abnormal, you definitely need to ask yourself, am I doing the form right and everything? So I think my overall advice about the whole soreness in the CrossFit is try not to tell yourself you need to do it every single day, because it sounds like you're pressuring yourself. And if you love it, great. It's awesome that you love it, but doing it every single day, there's just no balance there. I think you need to take a break from it and maybe put something else into your workout. Because I just think it's too intense for someone. I wouldn't even say to do weightlifting every single day, and I would not say to do CrossFit every single day. So hopefully that helps a little bit. So the second part to this question is, I have a full-time job and 2 kids, and my only time to work out is 5:30 a.m. How do you stay committed so early? Love your videos. FYI, please keep doing more. Aw, thank you. So with the kids and the job, so obviously I'm not a mom, so I can't really say, you know, my view on that, because I don't know what it's like. I have thought in the past, after going to a 9 to 5 and coming home and going to the gym, and then coming home again after the gym and having to cook, I have thought to myself many times, like, you moms out there that have kids go to work and make time for the gym, I just want to take a couple of seconds to just let you guys know I have much respect for you, like much respect for you, because I have said to myself many times, how would I do this with a child? Like, it's a lot of work. Like, honestly, I give it to you women, seriously, like, because I don't know how. I am exhausted. When I had a 9 to 5, oh my God, I would go to the gym. I would be there at 5:30, and then you come home, it's like, actually I would leave around like 6 something, 7. You get home, it's almost 8 o'clock. If I didn't have my meal cooked, I would have to cook my meal. And then after cooking your meal, by the time you sit down in front of a computer trying to watch my show, it'd be like 9 something. And I'm like, okay, and in between that, well, first before cooking, I would shower and then I would go cook. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, if I'm eating at 9 and I'm single and I don't have children, these mothers, like, wow, like, you guys have to prepare everything before. So honestly, kudos to you guys. I have much respect for you guys for that. But if I had kids, from what I'm thinking about what I went through being single and not having them, I honestly think it is all about time management. You have to have a plan. You have to, like, if your only time is 5:30 a.m., it sounds like, I don't know if you can make it to the gym at 5:30 a.m., but if you can only do it at home, then you can only do it at home. I mean, at the end of the day, let's just be completely realistic here. If you want to lose weight, you have to find the time to work out. No matter how many kids you have or how crazy your life is, you have to make the time. So I'm actually really proud that you're asking the question, because that means that you do want to make the time and you're just trying to figure out how. So that's really good. But I think that if your only time to work out is 5:30, maybe you can do an at-home workout before you go off to work, and maybe pre-pack everything and fix everything for the kids the night before, maybe. And I don't know how busy, I'm pretty sure weekends are busy, but maybe, you know, if you have a husband or someone that can help you, a friend or a family member, can just take them for an hour on the weekend, and you can't go to the gym, take that hour to yourself. And that kind of should be your time to just get a break from the kids too, and just focus on yourself for that hour, because that's all you need. You need an hour. I don't want you guys to think that you guys need to, like, you know, do 2-3 hours at one time. Try not to put that all into one day, because I think that's just overwhelming yourself. Meal prepping is amazing, especially if you have a family. Again, I'm single and it helps me a lot, so I can only imagine if I had a family. I'd be like, kids, our meals prep. Kids, mom prep pizza. It's awesome. Meal prep is awesome. Like, Mom, what are we having today? Pasta. I meal prepped it. I think meal prepping will help you a lot, because meal prepping, once it's done, that'll take away the time of you having to cook dinner all the time. So hopefully maybe you can slot in that time there too to kind of get a workout in. And there's a lot of things, like after dinner, if the kids are playing or something, if you have like a TV room or a place where you can maybe even just watch like a Zumba video, or you can get a couple of weights and just do a little bit of like weights there. Maybe the kids can join you and stuff like that. Maybe you can turn it into like a family thing. So, I mean, again, that's probably my best advice, especially when it comes to kids in a really crazy lifestyle. For me, it was all about time management and trying to just find that little slot that you can just stick in that workout. Okay, this question is very, very good. So it says, how do you resist sugary cravings when trying to be healthy? So, sugary cravings, funny enough, I'm not really a sugary kind of girl. But I do have to have my sugary stuff. So definitely when it's the time in the month, I am a mess. I am a sugary mess at that point. I've always been actually very mindful of a more healthier option. Even when I was younger, I'm like, what is a healthier option of that? When I would go to school, like my sisters would take like fruit roll up to school Lunchables, bologna sandwiches, and I'm just like, I don't want any of that stuff. Like I honestly, that stuff just made me want to like vomit. We'd take like veggies with like dip and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I've always just had like health at the back of my mind, like always a healthier option. So even when it comes to sugar, yeah, sometimes I want that cake and I just don't care if it's like a healthy, you know, vegan cake, or if it's, you know, gluten-free, or if it doesn't have this and doesn't have that. Sometimes I don't care. I just want that cake, like, or I want that Baskin Robbins. Sugary cravings, very important. Again, this goes back to not depriving yourself. If you are on a weight loss journey like I am, I rarely, I don't even think I do deprive myself. I don't deprive myself. I really don't, because I realized very quickly that, like, think about it. If the times before when I dieted and I did all these weight loss things, if I deprived myself then and I didn't get a quarter of the progress that I have this time around when I didn't deprive myself, why would I deprive myself? Like, it just, sometimes you have to sit down and ask yourself, like, even if you guys have to use me as an example, honestly, do that. Like, say to yourself, okay, well, does Steph ever have like sugary snacks? Yeah, she does. And she's lost 30 pounds. So I think we can do this. Like, don't think that if you have that sugary thing, that your 30 pounds is going to go from 30 pounds to 20. It is not going to make any difference in your progress, like whatsoever. Guess what? It didn't do anything. It's not going to do a single thing, because you have consumed what you need to lose weight based on how much you're working out. Like, a lot of people don't understand that, and I know the reason why they don't get it is because it sounds too good to be true. Let's say I want like a piece of chocolate or something. I'm not really a chocolate fan, and for me, when it comes to sugar, I can't consume too much of it because I don't like that overwhelming sugary sort of taste. So it bothers me. But for those of you who are sugar lovers, because Amy is a sugar lover, I would suggest to have that thing that you were craving. But if you want to, you can look for a healthier alternative. So I'll find like protein snacks that are super sweet, like those cake ones that I showed you guys. I could link a couple below for you guys to give you guys some suggestions. For example, for me, a healthier alternative that I eat are quinoa cookies. I buy these double chocolate quinoa cookies, and they're 80 calories each. So for me, they're like a little bit high in calorie, but for me, one is enough because they're so rich. So something like that is a more healthier alternative, and for me, it kills my sugar craving. The quinoa cookies, I'll have the Kind bars. I love those bars too. They're another really good sugar sort of treat for yourself. But when it comes to like the bad sugary stuff, I would say to have it every once in a while. I love a good peanut butter cookie, and sometimes I will go get, you know, I guess the bad version, you can say, of peanut butter cookies. Actually, I buy peanut butter cookies from the grocery store, and they're also a healthier alternative. But again, if you're looking for like I like to call them the dirty sugar sweets, if you are craving some of them, honestly, I would say have them. Keep it within your calories. So if you are supposed to be having 1,500 calories in a day, keep it within the 1,500 calories. If you are to go over sometimes, honestly, again, don't deprive yourself. Don't punish yourself for doing that. It's fine. Your progress is going to go down by like 0.1. Sometimes my progress is not even affected when I overeat some days. So With the sugary sweets, if you are a sugar person, what I would suggest is if you're gonna have them often, find healthier alternatives because you don't want to be having too much of the dirty sugar sweets. But sometimes, like I said, like I love tiramisu, I love a good peanut butter cookie, I love cheesecake. If I'm gonna have those, I'm gonna have the dirty ones, you know what I mean? So, and I do that every once in a while. I'm not doing that every single week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. Like I'm doing that maybe, I don't know, I would say like sometimes once a month, sometimes every couple months. It all really depends. Like if I'm going out for dinner, I will have that dessert. Like enjoy, you're out for dinner, don't deprive yourself. This next question is from Gabrielle. Hi Gabrielle. So the question says, I was wondering, how do you stay on track and motivated with weight loss? And what are your favorite fat burning, sweat it out workouts? I'm currently trying to lose 100 pounds and I think I'm already 10 pounds down. Woo! I really want to put in the effort and push for my goal. XOXO, thank you. Very, very good question. So it kind of goes back to the whole motivated thing, but the way that I stay on track is I like to ask myself, okay, so what is going to be, like this example, this is for someone who's starting off their journey. I like to kind of pre-plan. I've always been a planner, so I kind of tell myself, okay, am I going to go to the gym, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or am I going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Or I like to pick, I find in the winter I'm doing like 2 times a week because number one, it's a lot harder to go to the gym in the winter. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It is a lot harder. It's been a lot harder for me. But I definitely would say to have a plan. When you're going to work out, it helps you stay on track because you know on that day you're going to go to the gym. So fat burning and sweat it out workouts. So fat burning, funny enough, a lot of people, a lot of women especially, again, like I mentioned in my last video, they think that weightlifting is going to bulk you up. Weightlifting is actually going to shed a ton of fat. I have done in my entire weight loss journey so much more weightlifting than any other workout. Any other workout. People think that when you're weightlifting, all you're doing is like pumping, so they think that you're actually like growing, you know what I'm saying? Well, over time your muscle's gonna grow, but especially if you're on a calorie deficit to lose weight, it's actually very, very hard to bulk. Like it's just science. You can't build a muscle when you're not eating enough for it to bulk up. And especially as women, it's not possible for us to like bulk up like that. It's just not. It's science, it's in our DNA. It's just not possible. So if that's your fear regarding weightlifting, just erase that fear because it's not. No matter how much you weigh, it doesn't matter if you weigh 100, 200, 300, 400 pounds, it doesn't matter. Weightlifting, I would recommend for everybody. And I'm not talking like weightlifting where you have like a barbell and you're doing like 300 and you're pushing 300 pounds. That's not what I'm talking about. Any weightlifting, grabbing a pair of 10 weights and like lifting your arms like this, like starting off slow. You don't have to, don't think of weightlifting as something where you see this massive guy with like bulging muscles and he's lifting up 200 pounds. Don't think of that. Just think of starting off slowly, even if you're starting at 5 pounds and you're working your way up slowly. That's what it's about. It's just about progress. So another good fat burning is HIIT workouts. So using a lot of resistance bands, doing a lot of sprints, skip rope, a lot of like box jumps, stuff like that. Like a lot of HIIT workouts are very good for fat burning as well. But in order to tone and stay nice and tight as possible, you do want to do mostly weightlifting. I will never sit here and say to you guys cardio is the way to go for weight loss. I'm just never gonna sit here and say that to you guys. I'm always gonna be pro, you know, weightlifting and pro HIIT, and yeah, a little bit of cardio is fine. I just want to say congratulations on losing the 10 pounds because I know although you're thinking to yourself, well, I have a long way to go. Yeah, but that long way has already started. You have already progressed. You have already touched that goal a little bit. Next question is, how do you continue to work out and avoid those cravings on those tired days or even weeks? So cravings kind of go a little bit along with the sugary question that I answered for you guys. Cravings are something, so here's my view on cravings. When I'm craving something, I ask myself, number one, how bad is that craving? Because sometimes it's just your mind playing with you. Honestly, like sometimes just sip on some water and you'll get over it. And that's just my honest opinion. But sometimes I have that craving I can't stop thinking about for maybe 1 or 2 days. When I have that craving, very simple. I have it. I eat it. I devour it. I have the entire thing. You know why? Because again, You do not want to deprive yourself. As soon as you deprive yourself, that's when you're creating an issue, because you don't want to have a pattern of depriving yourself all the time. But when you're having those cravings, you just don't want to say to yourself, no, no, no. No, I can't have it. I can't, because it's bad. I cannot have that thing. What you're doing is you're creating a bad relationship between you and those cravings. And now you're creating a bad relationship between you and food. And when you start to do that, today it's this small, but that problem starts to grow and grow and grow, and it becomes a massive, massive problem. And what happens is, let's think about what's worse, okay? You're craving, I'm just going to use an example. Something I crave, like what do I crave? To be honest with you, here's a good example. I've been craving a poutine for a long time. From 1 to 10, the craving, I would say, is like a 2. Like, I'm able to deal with it, so I haven't had the poutine. But if I didn't stop thinking about that poutine, I would have the poutine. And maybe I'll have it in the next month. Maybe I'm gonna have it tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm only going to have it when it's worth it. But let's just say my craving was a poutine, okay? I really want this poutine. So tell me, what's worse? So I have this craving and I'm like, no, 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 let's just hide that craving. We don't want it. So this is what's gonna happen. That craving, let's just say it's not gonna go away, because we're talking about like real cravings. So the craving's not going away, right? So it's still there tomorrow. This is the poutine. You're like, no, 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 no. You throw it away. The next day, I want that poutine. You know what happens? You're like, I'm gonna have that cookie because I can't have the poutine, but the cookie's only 200 calories, okay? An hour passes by. I'm gonna have a couple of those chips because those chips are better than the poutine. By the time you do that 3 or 4 times, you could have just had the poutine. Or there's the second scenario. There's the other, we're gonna call it the B person. So option B is you don't have anything at all. So let's say you don't even have that chocolate chip cookie, or you don't even have those chips. You completely ignore the craving. A couple days pass by and you're like, oh my God, like you're starting to go nuts. You were starting to go nuts, and now your craving has like become even bigger and bigger and bigger. Now you're causing issues for yourself when you could have just had the poutine. Like, it's fine to have the poutine, and it's fine if you go over that one day out of your journey, or those couple days out of a couple months. It's honestly not going to kill you. You just have to tell yourself, okay, today I'm going over, so my progress is going to be maybe like 0.1 backed up, or maybe my progress is not even going to be affected. But my advice on cravings is, if it's a very, very strong craving and you want it, my advice, have it. Absolutely have it. I know that's like your dream answer, but it's the truth. It's not just the dream answer, it is the honest truth. You want a couple slices of pizza, have a couple slices of pizza tonight. Like, it's not going to kill you. But you know you can't have it next week, right? And you know you can't have it tomorrow again. You know you can't have it 3 days from now again. You've had your craving. So it's all about balance, and it's all about disciplining yourself, because that's what this entire weight loss progress has been for me, is discipline and balance. Okay, so the next question is, it says, hi Stephanie, I love your videos. Thank you. You are so beautiful. My question is, what exercise should I do at the gym that mainly focuses on losing belly fat? I have lost 54 pounds in the past 9 months so far. Wow. You go, girl. And I'm still working towards my goal. Love you. Aw, thank you so much. So this is a very good question, because I touched it in my last video. The truth about doing specific workouts to target certain areas of your body. So for example, she's asking to target her belly fat. You can't target weight loss in a certain part of your body. It is impossible. It doesn't exist. And I know that that's so hard for people to understand, because I was doing like crunches all the time before this weight loss journey, not this one. Before, I was doing a ton of crunches. I was doing a ton of like sit-ups. I was doing a ton of like push-ups and all these ab workouts, because I thought I would get like a 6-pack after them, but I never got a 6-pack. The reason why I never got a 6-pack was because you need to lose the fat in order to the 6-pack to come out. So it's like a curtain, okay? I'm the stomach, all right? So here's the curtain. The curtain is the fat over the stomach. If this is not lost, okay, let's say you lose it, magically you open the curtain and the 6-pack is there. So that is why, I know that that's like a weird example, but that's the only way I can describe it. So basically, if you do not lose the fat in front of your stomach, because we all have abs, like believe it or not, we all have abs. For those of you who think you do not have abs, you have abs. The reason why, like a lot of you are saying, oh my god, your abs are coming through. The reason why mine are coming through is not because I'm doing belly workouts. I kid you not, I rarely do stomach workouts. I never say to myself, today I'm gonna do those and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this for my stomach. Never. I never say that to myself. So I rarely do them. So if you guys think I have them, it's not because I'm doing focused belly workouts. It's just not. As you are working out, as you are weightlifting, regardless if you're doing cardio, weightlifting, HIIT workouts, CrossFit, whatever you are doing to lose weight, until that until that curtain in front of your abs, like behind by your stomach, until you lose this front part, you will never see abs come through, no matter what workout. So unfortunately, my answer to your question is you have to just keep going until your body chooses to lose the fat near your stomach area. Until that happens, it might come off your arms first. My arms, I struggle to lose weight off of my arms. I do way more workouts on my arms than I do my stomach, and you guys tell me I have a ton of abs on my stomach. So I'm just like this is just, it's proof that it just doesn't work that way. Like, I swear to God, I do a ton of them where I'm pulling up my body, pulling, and I'm like, oh, my arms are gonna lose weight. Like, I still have that in my mind that I think that the fat's gonna come off, which is completely normal. You're human, right? But I am a living proof example that the fat will not come off of your stomach by just doing belly exercises. It's just scientifically proven to not be true. So unfortunately, you just have to keep going at it. I mean, you've lost 54 pounds. So if you just keep going, like, you have done amazing so far. Like, honestly, amazing. Keep going and you will see that stomach turn into something that you never thought it would be. Believe me, because I'm going through that right now. The next question is, who do you watch on YouTube for weight loss, and how often do you go to the gym or weekend walk your dog? Number one, I don't walk my dog. My dog is an inside dog. I never walk him. Not gonna lie to you guys, I don't walk my dog. I go to the gym currently in the winter around 2 times a week. It's a lot harder to go to the gym in the winter, you guys. Like, it's much harder to get yourself up and just to go. So right now I'm going like twice a week. Normally I go 3 times a week around the spring, summertime. Who do I watch on YouTube for weight loss? To be honest with you guys, I don't watch too many YouTube videos. I get more inspired by, it's so funny because I just opened up my Instagram to get his name and he popped right up on my thing. So CHIT Fitness, I love him. So at CHIT Fitness, I love this guy. He is everything that I preach about when it comes to weight loss. And everything he posts, I'm like, yes, like amen to you. Because honestly, he does everything. So his name is Jordan CHIT. I'll put his @ right here, and you guys just have to listen to the things he has to say, because I'm sorry, it's just awesome. He actually has a YouTube channel that you guys can watch all his stuff on there, but I just watch him on Instagram. But again, he gives really, really amazing advice. He's all about the realistic way of losing weight and a realistic lifestyle. He's a trainer as well. But I just love what he promotes. I love what he preaches about, and it's everything that I believe in. So make sure you guys check him out. This next question is really good. I'm actually really excited to help and talk about this one. I recently lost my job. Is there any tips that you have on things that I can buy to bulk and still eat healthy, even when I'm cooking, and some cheaper alternatives? I love this question because first off, I can only imagine how hard it is to lose your job, because now you think, okay, great, I'm on this weight loss journey. How am I supposed to do this now? So my tips, I even actually do this right now. What I suggest is to buy the stuff that you can make a ton of meals with. That's what I do right now to save money. I'll buy maybe 2 stalks of broccoli, and I know I can do a stir fry with that. I know I can do my side for my salmon with that. I can do it as a side with chicken. I know I can do roasted veggies with basically anything. I know I can make a veggie soup. You can make a massive pot. So that one saves you a ton of money, because it's all based on a lot of canned foods, and canned foods are really, really inexpensive to buy. I mean, I pick up at my grocery store a can of corn for under $1. You know what I mean? If you find it on sale for 99 cents, how awesome is that, right? So that soup is actually very, very good to save a lot of money, because you get a massive pot and you just put them into a bunch of different containers, or one big container, keep it in the fridge. It lasts for me up to 1 week. Or put them in different containers and put them in the freezer, and only keep some of them out in the fridge, and then remove those from the freezer. So definitely meal prepping, I would say, is my #1 meal saving tip. The other thing, again, I will buy a whole thing of romaine lettuce, and I know I can do like 6 salads with that one thing of romaine lettuce. I buy canned chopped black olives already sliced up. I pour that on top a little bit. If you buy 1 bag of onions, you can do so many different things with that. You can put those in the soup. You can put that inside of your salads. You can use that as a side when you're doing anything, basically. So I would say buy a lot of canned foods because you can make a lot of soups with that, a lot of sides, a lot of salads with that. Buy a lot of veggies that come in like a stock where you don't want to waste it before it goes bad, so you can use it for different meals. Try to stick to drinking water instead of buying any fruit drinks or any cans and stuff like that, because it's definitely not healthy to be eating, you know, any sodas and stuff like that. When it comes to fruits, fruits can be super expensive. I think that's why a lot of people say, you know, eating healthy is very expensive, when it honestly, I've actually calculated before. I'm like, it's not. It's actually more expensive to go out and eat all the time. It really adds up at the end of the month. I think that fruits are extremely expensive, so my suggestion is to get a bag of frozen fruit. You can do smoothies with those. You can do water that's infused with fruit with those. So those things are really good to buy because, one, they're in bulk and you can freeze them and do a ton of things with those. When you buy fresh fruits, you are definitely spending a lot more money instead of buying that bag of frozen fruits for $6.99. That one little case of blueberries is going to cost you $4.99. So to me, that's, sometimes I'm like, $4.99 for a pack of blueberries. So those are kind of my tips that you can use for eating healthy. So I hope that helps. The next question is, what is your goal weight? And she said, you look amazing. I love you in your videos. Oh, thank you. So my goal weight, I don't like to have a goal weight or number, but I will answer the question anyway. I think that in my mind, my goal weight is going to be around 120 to 125, and I have to say I never ever thought I would have said that. Like, someone had told me your goal weight's gonna be 120 to 125, I'd be like, Susan, are you okay? Like, seriously, I would have honestly called you crazy, because when I think of I know what I would look like at 120, 125, and I'd be like I don't want to look like a carrot, you know, like I want to have shape, I want to have, you know, tone, I want to have a little bit of muscle showing. So I just never thought I would say that number, but I know what I am now, and I can't really say 130 pounds because that's not far off from what I am now, and I'm definitely not where I want to be right now. So I'm not really at my end goal. I have a long way to go. So I definitely think like 120 to 125. I don't even think 125 is gonna do it based on what I look like right now. I'd say when I'm like really done and I have my body that I want, I'm gonna go on like a maintenance for a while, see how I like living with my body, because I don't want to make a rational decision. And then once I'm off of maintenance for a little bit, I'm gonna be going on a mini bulk because I want to build certain parts of my body. Definitely want to build my butt a little bit more. I don't want to be building my arms, but again, you don't really have much choice. Like when you're building, you have to be careful because doing a lot of butt workouts can also build your legs too at the same time. So you have to research at that point. But definitely I think my goal weight's going to be around sort of that range. The next question is, what is your biggest struggle during your journey and how have you overcome it? So funny enough, a lot of people would probably say like eating less, you know, but for me, that was a struggle only, I would say, for the first couple weeks in my weight loss journey, but now I'm so used to eating 1,500 calories that some days I'm at 1,100 calories. The next day I'm at 1,200, 13, some days I'm 17, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't call that a struggle. That's just something everybody's going to deal with when they're on a deficit. I think my #1 struggle has been me being so hard on myself. That's something that I have definitely struggled with. I talked about it in my video too. I always think I'm never progressing enough. I am my biggest critic with everything when it comes to my work, when it comes to the way I dress, when it comes to everything, my hair, my makeup, everything. I've always been my biggest critic. I'm a perfectionist. So I think in my weight loss journey, when I saw that, like, let's say after 4 months, if I was losing like 1.5 pounds a week and now I was only losing 1, I'm like, oh my God, like this is it, like it's the end of the world's ending, like, you know what, my progress doesn't matter anymore. But you have to, again, I mentioned how my sister would help me a lot with that and say like, look back at photos, look back at the actual like numbers, be logical and say to yourself, are you progressing? And I just realized that weight loss is something, it's literally like a roller coaster. The ones that go up and down, that's exactly what weight loss journey is like. If you're expecting weight loss to be like this, and you're a perfectionist like me, because that's exactly what we want when we're perfectionists. We want everything to just go perfectly all the time. But it's not, that's just not how weight loss goes. Your body is doing so many different things that you just do not comprehend or understand. Like, you just don't. So at the end of the day, I definitely think that has been my struggle overall. It's something I still struggle with. I'm like, am I still progressing like enough, you know? Like, and I have to just, for me, what has helped me overcome it is, like I mentioned, take a ton of photos. Take photos of every single week that you weigh yourself. Take photos of your fat percentage, how much water you're drinking. Take photos of the actual weight and number. If your progress is not what you really were hoping for, is it because you worked out less this week? Is it because you went over and you ate a little bit too much? So my advice is to not be so hard on yourself. Honestly, when you're on a weight loss journey, again, focus on the high road, the long-term solution. Never focus on this guy, which is the short term, because this is where it leaves you. This is exactly where it leaves you. But who wants to be like this? You want to be going up and up and up and up. Like, you want to be progressing. You want to reach goals. So I definitely think that that's something I definitely have struggled with. But you have to just remember to just pat yourself on the back and be like, you know, I have to say to myself, Steph, you're fine. You have progressed so much. You've lost like over 30 pounds. Like, you're doing amazing, you know? Look at everything you've accomplished. You have learned from your past mistakes. You know, you've already grown by doing that. You've already learned something new. So by overcoming that, I just feel much better, and I just have to say to myself, you're doing great, and just remind yourself of your progress. This next question says, my question is, what changes have you experienced in your body after losing 30 pounds? You look gorgeous. Love you. Thank you very much. Changes that I've experienced in my body. So I guess physically, actually physically and other stuff too, like health-wise. So I have always had massive bloating issues. Like, I was always constantly bloated. I was clearly consuming way too much sugar before. Like, I was having a ton of those Starbucks matcha latte drinks, and those have, once I realized how much sugar those had, I'm like Steph, that's why you're bloated. Like, hello. Like, so definitely my bloating has come down. I would definitely say, because I've done a lot of research on it. I've learned a lot from him too, the CHIT Fitness. He posted something about, you know, what to avoid when you have bloating issues and why you are actually bloated. So salt is definitely something that makes me bloat. Sugar makes me bloat. So as I try to take those out, and milk products definitely have, I've lowered my milk by a lot. I rarely consume milk. Only if I'm going to like a breakfast place or I'm going to dinner and I want a coffee at the end of my meal, I'm like, great, like they're going to give me milk. They won't give me, you know, almond milk. But that's okay. That's just like a little bit, and I'm fine with it. I love my coffee too much to let it go for a little bit of milk. So I'll do that. But at home, like I've even told my family, I'm like, we're not consuming milk. Like, I've made this decision for us and we're just not doing it. And luckily, like, my mom just goes along with it, and we're just all consuming almond milk now. So definitely milk products have helped me. Like, when I lower them, I don't get as bloated. Sodium, when I avoid it as much as I can, I don't get as much bloated. Sugar, when I try to avoid it, I don't get as much bloated. My water has helped me so much. This guy, oh my God, is amazing for bloating. You make me feel skinny. Physically wise, I've noticed that my arms are one of the last things that are sticking with me now. I lost a ton of weight on them in the beginning, but now they're slowing down. My stomach, I have lost a ton. I had a large amount of love handles on my two sides. Those were like one of the first things that went down. And I've noticed that my waist is a lot more cinched. A lot more. Like, oh my God, when I look at pictures of my stomach, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I can't believe that. Like, wow. You see that your body just changes, and it's just the most amazing thing, and it's so exciting. I've noticed that my legs look a lot more toned. They still are pretty big because I do have big legs, but my legs are a lot more toned. My feet have shrunk. My feet have gone down an entire size. All of my shoes in my closet that are size 7, I hope you guys know they do not fit me. Like, they do not fit me. My ring size, I was an 8 before, I'm a 7 now. Like, if I put a size 8, it'll just fly right off. My face has slimmed down a ton. When I gain weight, this is the first place it goes to. Like, you think it's my stomach, it's not, it's my face. Even like when I am bloated, I can feel like underneath here, oh my God, I just feel it. I'm like, oh great, I'm bloated. So yeah, I've seen a lot of progress on my stomach. My chest has gone down a lot. I, believe it or not, you guys, I used to be a D. Yeah, I used to have a D-sized chest. And now I'm like an AB. Yeah, so we lost a lot in that area. I lost a ton of back fat on the back, a ton of it. Oh my God. That was actually my point where I was like, I've had enough. Like, I've had enough. Like, I would be walking and I felt it like touch each other. I've never had that, and I'm like, no. Like, this has to stop. So I have lost a ton there, and I just feel so much lighter, and I just feel so much better about myself. So that's something. My body fat, it was in the high 40s before when I very first started, and now it's at 30%. So my body fat has gone down a lot. So those are like the major changes that I have felt in my body for sure. How long has your entire process taken? So my progress is definitely not done, or the process is definitely not done. I started in January and it is now December, so we're almost into it a year. At the end of this January coming up, it will be a year. If I started around 165 and now I'm like 135, so that goes to show you I've lost like 30 pounds. You definitely need to understand that this is a long journey. It's not something like, I did not lose 30 pounds in 3 months. I didn't lose it in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, it's taking me a while. So I've been on a deficit for a year. And I've heard a lot of stories where girls say that their entire progress has taken like 2.5 years. And I'm just like in the beginning, I'm like, no, you've got to be kidding me. But guys, that's how long it takes. Like, to be honest with you, if someone said to me it's gonna take you 3 years to get your dream body, but you'll be good after that, like you'll be set, you'll be used to this amazing lifestyle, you'll be good, I'd be like, okay, I'll take that deal. I don't want to take the deal that's 6 months and then I just have this amazing body, because that 6 months, I guarantee you, is a deprived person. It's a person that has rushed the process, which means the body is probably all messed up by the time she reaches her dream body. But you can't, most people that do get their dream body in 6 months, they've just lost a ton of fat by doing a lot of cardio. But it's not about the short term, it is about the long term amazing journey that you're going through. You know what I mean? I would rather, a lot of people say, you know, nothing comes without hard work, you know, and nothing comes in a short amount of time. It takes a while. What was the turning point that made you decide on this healthy journey? So I mentioned a little bit how I started to see that I was just gaining way too much on my sides here, and I couldn't stand that when I was walking, they were like hitting each other. Like, I know it sounds strange, but honestly, that's when I just realized, like, okay, you have never had this problem, you've never been this bad. Like, this is something, and it bothers me. I've never liked being like that, so why would I settle for that? You know what I mean? And I think definitely the health issues in my family, I was just like, no, like I don't want to be that, you know. My family definitely doesn't want that for me, you know, so I need to be taking care of myself for sure. And I remember just weighing myself on the scale and being like, what happened to, like, why are you okay with being at this point? You know what I mean? Like, are you happy? And after asking myself that, I was like, no, like I'm not happy. You know what I mean? I'm wearing shapers so that I can become this skinnier body, but when you're truly happy with yourself, why are you wearing shapers? Okay, so the last question of our Q&A is, how did you start exercising? Did you start off weight training or did you do cardio at first? Also, what were your meals like in the beginning? You have come so far and look amazing. Paola. Paola? I hate when I mispronounce someone's name. I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Is it Paola or Paola? So rude, Steph. From the beginning, I would say like the first maybe 2 days, I was like, okay, let's do some treadmill. But I quickly realized, you know, like, especially with my sister's journey too and her being on it, I was like, no, like, I just need to try this weightlifting thing. Like, I need to just get rid of all the myths that are in my mind about me bulking up or something, and I just need to go do it. And I am so happy that I did, you guys. If I did not do weightlifting, you guys, and gave it like an honest chance, I would not be here with my progress today. Like I just would not have the same progress. HIIT workouts to me, I consider cardio mostly like going on the treadmill, doing jogging, walking, some sprints, elliptical, doing the bike. Like a lot of that is cardio to me, and walking in general. But HIIT workouts is just more intensified, and you actually use more equipment, resistance bands, you do a lot of like box jumps, you use like a lot of different things. You can even use like weights to actually do a lot of HIIT workouts, and jump rope and stuff like that. So I like doing some HIIT as well because I like that sort of active movement, because it kind of reminds me of my Zumba too. I need to just start doing Zumba because I really love it, and I feel like I'm always saying to myself, you know, it's cardio, just kind of stay away from it. But I think that you do need to include parts of what you love, even though it's not like the best workout. But again, you don't want to turn this into like this thing where you're like, I need to do the best things for myself. You know, you need to be enjoying yourself at the end of the day. And with my meals in the beginning, they were definitely, I would say, smaller in the beginning, because you're fresh into this thing. So you're like, okay, I need to have that 4 ounces of salmon and that, 1 cup of rice and, the certain amount of veggies, and now I'm a little bit more generous when it comes to my plates. Because in the very beginning, I wasn't eating the proper amount of calories I was supposed to consume. I think I was eating around 1,200, and when I researched, I was like, okay, when you weightlift, you can't be eating like that low. You can, but just don't expect yourself to be like lifting that heavy and, week by week keep lifting heavier and heavier. You just can't really do that. Your body's not going to be able to take it. So I definitely will say that in the beginning, my portions were a little bit smaller because my calorie intake and my deficit was a little bit more severe than it is right now. Definitely will say that my meals in the beginning were a lot more like, I cannot have any processed stuff. I was definitely more harder on myself. I wouldn't allow much room for like those sugary cravings. But again, because that was like the beginning of my journey, there's so much to learn, and I didn't know all the things that I know today. But today I know, like, when you're craving something, have it. When you want something sweet, have it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So hopefully that helps to answer your question. Okay babes, so that is the end of our Q&A. Thank you to all of you who sent in your questions, and hopefully I helped you guys out a little bit with your weight loss journey. And if you guys want to become a part of my notification squad, make sure you guys click the notification bell at the top to get notified for all of my brand new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you babes next time.